Hi, this is Bill Watkins. We're back in 1 Corinthians chapter 7 for a couple of minutes this morning. Paul has just talked about how that you should not marry if you can avoid marriage in the time of the distress. But if you were tempted to commit sexual immorality, you should get married. And then he had some rules for the sexual relationship and a marriage. But in verse 6, he says, "But I say this as concession, not as a commandment. For I wish that all men were even as I myself, but each one has his own gift from God, one in this manner and another in that." What he's saying is, some people can avoid the sexual sins of their life without being married. He said other people might not be able to, and you have to follow what's right and natural for you. But he said, "I say to the unmarried and to the widows, it's good for them to remain as I am, but if they cannot exercise self-control, let them marry. For it's better to marry than to burn with passion." Paul gives the lowest common denominator here for marriage, not because he has a low view of marriage, but because at the bottom line, the way to avoid sexual immorality is marriage. It's not by fulfilling that in any other way. God intends for us to be sexually pure. And he said, with everything that's happening now and with everything that's getting ready to happen, I think it would be better if you didn't marry. But if you do, you haven't sinned. It's better to marry than to burn with passion, he's talking about. And so he's telling them, yes, there is a purpose for marriage. You and I know that there is more than this as a purpose for marriage. There is companionship and fulfillment and the opportunity to help each other get to heaven and all sorts of things. But the point that he's making here is that bottom line, with present distress and all the dangers and temptations that are going to come into your marriage, it's still better to be married than it is to burn with passion. In our day, it's still better to marry than to burn with passion. Thanks for watching.